So the next step on our path of animation is to begin to weight the arms. I think what I'm going to do in this tutorial is basically show you the basics on one arm, show you how it works. Then I'm going to pause the tutorial while I sort of just go through and be a bit picky because you don't want to watch me doing that. And then once I've done that, I'll restart the tutorial and show you how to mirror the weights. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start off by adding the skin modifier to our arms. So just going to go down skin, and as before we need to attach all the bones. What is handy is that we've called our bones bone. This is why I would rather you go through and name your bones. It's a lot easier. I know that all these object files are the fingers, but because we've called our controlled and dummies .control.dummy, we know what they are. I can also go right through here and untick everything but bones and geometry. But Glock mesh, Glock bone, we don't want those. We want all these other bones. So I'm just going to hit select, and that will automatically weight our hand, but probably not very well. But you can see how the mesh is following the bones very badly. So what we need to do is go through and edit it, change it. I'm just going to get rid of this, get rid of all this gun stuff, hide. I'm also going to get, actually I can't get rid of that arm. Right, so I'm going to start off just by going envelope. We want to select vertices on, so we can select our verts. I'm just going to select all of this arm, and I'm going to weight it to here. So we need to take on our little spanner tool up here, our weighting tool, and just hit 1. So now everything is weighted to that bone. One thing that I am actually going to do quickly, which I forgot to do, is I'm just going to create 2 dummies. And I'm just going to align them up to the end of here. These are just basically little shoulder dummies. They help a little bit with rotating the elbows and things like that. They come in handy. And I just want to link this bicep up to the shoulder, like I say, using our link tool again. So, right, so the best way of really weighting is to select everything that you know will be at 1. So 100% locked onto whatever particular bone. And then from there you go through and do all the in-betweenies. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to I've done that main bicep arm. I know that none of this bicep movement will be affected by the ends of the fingers, for example. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and select everything. Everything from about here down. What the hell are you doing? Select elements. Oh, I think I was under. Right, I'm just under the movement tool. There we go. So I'm going to select everything from about here down. So go in. Select these couple of bits on the buckle. Around here. And I'm going to weight this to 1 on the hand bone. Again, this is why it's good to name stuff. Is that the main bit of the hand? I think so. 1, so that's the whole hand done. What I'm going to do is just hide unselected, get rid of all those bones. As you notice that when we're in the envelope modifier, you can still click and select the bones, which is very handy. Say I'm going to display, show no envelopes. Right, I'm probably just going to work on a couple of fingers really. So what we're going to do, I'll start on this thumb. Right, so I'm going to select everything above this thumb here, including the ones that is going to have a 100% movement to. So all of this around here is going to move 100% to this bone. I'm going to press 1, and I'm doing down the whole length of the finger really. This basically will make sure the weighting of anywhere else will be taken away. It says in the list here what the verts are actually weighted to, but I'm then just going to work down the finger. So this guy, I'm going to select everything below him, like so, and then hit it to 1, and then this guy here, everything that he will have 100% control over as 1 as well. Now, what I'm going to do now is select these guys at the knuckle, and what you'll notice is they're constrained 100% to this bone, but we want these ones down here to be constrained 50-50 between this bone and this bone. So what I'm going to do is select this bone, which doesn't have any constraint on at the moment, select all the verts we want controlled, like so, and then I'm just going to just press 0.5, and now it's come up as a yellow colour, and that has taken 0.5 of the constraint away from this guy and moved it to this one, like so. What we're going to do is just work down, so these at this sort of joint here, we're going to have a 0.5 as well, I think. But this is very preliminary. This is, I mean, the best thing to do is you're going to want to just have a fiddle about, really. A big fiddle about. I'm just doing so it's got a little bit of a constraint around here. And what you want to do is you want to sort of do quite a basic churn over, like say, and then you want to save your file, put it in some nice animation positions, some of the extremes, some of the positions that your hands are most likely going to be in when they're holding the gun, just to see what the weighting's like. If the weighting's incorrect, or say if this vert is weighted over to the arm here, it will stretch out and it will look a bit crazy. So you just want to do a lot of little tests and things before you sort of say this is the final weighting. But I'm just going to carry on going through. I'm going to select base of this finger, like so. You want to be very careful about what you select. Okay, next go on to this little guy. Select this section of the finger and press 1. And then again, exactly the same as you've done with the thumb, like so. So this, oh, don't want him on there. So this bone here at the start of our index finger has got 100% influence over all of this red section, and again this one influence over this section, and this little one on the end here influence over this section, and we just want to now go through and do the little mid sections. So just going to go through, select our verts like so, 0.5, then we'll go back down a bone, then select all the verts on this joint, around here, we'll go 0.5 again, I'm just going to go around and select some of this area around where we've got the knuckles. Where the finger starts around here. Oh, if you want to deselect, if I want to add more verts, I hold down Control and click on the verts, like so, and it adds more. If I want to remove them, I hold down Alt and click on them, and that will remove them from the selection. Right, I'm just going to go through and do these last couple of fingers. So we're going to start on this bone here, make our selection. On the end here, press 1, Have a quick look around, make sure it's done everything we want it. Missed out one there. Down to the next bone. Press 1 again. And to the last bone. I mean, to say, the main reason we're doing these big selections and putting it on one is because it's a good way to make sure that these aren't weighted to other bits and bobs. It makes sure that they're 100% weighted down this end of the hand, on the end of the finger, rather than being a little bit weighted to a bit of the arm up here or something, which can make it go a bit crazy. If you say do a little bit at a time, the only way to take weighting off of something 100% is to basically select the bone that it's weighted to and say I'm not weighted at all to this. For example, this vert here, at the moment it's 0.5 and 0.5 on these two different bones. If it was a little bit weighted to this bone over here, 0.1, there we go, it's reduced these to 4.5 and put 1 here. If we say, oh, we don't like this here, we want to get rid of it and put it back on this bone, you do 0.5, no, 0.5, it will never take it off 100%. You can keep trying your hardest, but it will never work. You've got to go on this bone, hit it on 0, and hit these two back on 0.5. So you see why I'm basically weighting it to 100%, just to remove its linkage with any other bones. Right. %, 100%, and 100%. We'll do some 0.5s along here. And some 0.5s along here. Oh, that's what we do. Some 0.5s along here as well. So what I'm doing now is just editing, really. See, this is why weighting's a bit of a pain. It's very fiddly, and to get things working 100% right can take quite some time. So this is why I'm doing a bit of a semi-rush job at the moment. But this is just getting down the base of the weighting sort of areas that we know are going to be all the 0.5s and things are probably going to need a bit of a fiddle with. So I'll probably have a little bit of a fiddle on one finger, so it'll give you a good idea of how I go about doing that, and then, as I say, I'll pause it and let you do your own fiddling. That sounds a bit naughty, but yeah, the best way to get the hang of this weighting is just to play with yourself. Just play with the program. It's just down to experience. It's not hard to do, but to get it working just right can take a little bit of practice, a little bit of fiddling around. But what I will do is I'll upload my finished one up on the forum. Right, I'm just going to go around a few bits up here, just 0.5, being careful not to really select any of the verts on the other arm. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. So all these verts around here are all connected up to our main hand bone up here, all this area. We want to go round to our thumb. Go around the outside here and just maybe put some 0.5s in. I'm also going to have to do the same on the wrist here. So it's going to go to select all this, go to the hand bone. I'm just going to put a little bit of help on there. This loop around here. This is one of those areas that can be a little fiddly. I'm just going to put it 100% to the hand at the moment, and then I'm going to go to the arm bone. I'm going to say put about 2.5 on there. But you might need to go in and have a bit of a fiddle. Right, so that's just sort of a basic once over. So generally, what you want is a hardness, and then the weighting blends out. That should help the actual mesh bend and blend not too much. Hopefully, you don't really want the mesh to fold in on itself. That's something that you want to watch out for. So what I'm going to do is just do a quick save. I'm going to unhide everything. I'm going to just bung in a few more keyframes. 10 or so. With my gun again, we don't want to see him at the moment. In fact, I'm going to hide the hand. Right. We're just going to make put a few keyframes in. Auto key. Also, want a few more frames. Be up to 20 or so. So let's go up to about frame 4. Press auto key. Just do some basic hand movements, like so. Go up to frame 12 or so. Back to 0. And just have a little bit of a fiddle about. And of course we want to go through and do fingers as well, making sure that our rotation and pivot are on local. Should help quite a bit. These are all on the go. Like so. Right. I'm just going to Control A to select all, and then I'm just going to keyframe it all back to the same as 0 is. Unhide, select my arms, unhide all. So now that all I've got is my arms, but they're animated. There we go, so that's what my animation's doing. Like so. It's actually not looking too bad first go, to be honest. Cool, blimey. I'm not even sure if I have to do anything to that. A little bit of a funny movement on the wrist there. I think what might be a better idea. So we're just going to go into envelopes again. I'm going to select this loop of polygons, or verts here, and I'm just going to try assigning them to this back of the arm just as one, just to see if that looks any better. No, not staining so. Try it on 0.1 and we can just press play again. Just sorry, I went the wrong way. 0.9. Yeah, 7.5. Okay, well, I was going to turn it off for a minute and have a bit of a fiddle about, but I'm actually rather happy with that. So, if you were having problems, man, gotta love these arms. Whoever modelled these is pretty damn good. And if you really do want to be picky, I mean, you can always go in and you just want to improve the blending that's been done. So you might want to put some 0.1s around, or just whatever you fancy, just to try and perfect your arms as much as possible. But the thing is, this is an area that you do want to get right. On characters, you can sort of be a bit cheeky because they can be quite far away from people and can be hard to see when they're running about in game. But the hands are going to be right up in the face. They're going to be one of the things that are going to be seen a lot by the player, so you do want to get those right. Right, unhide all. What we want to do now is we want to copy the weighting from this arm here over to this arm. And the way in which we're going to do that is going to use this little weighting tool down here. Envelope. Right, so we're basically going to select all the verts on this side, but I don't even know if you need to make a selection. I'm not 100% sure. Well, I'm just going to select everything on this arm. Just weight it to 1. You don't really need to do that, but it just makes it a little bit neat to start off with. Right, we want to turn envelopes on. We just want to hit mirror mode under the mirror parameters down here. And what you've noticed is we've got a nice little line down here. Just going to move the mirror offset down to about 0. Right, and what we want to do is we want to have a little ferret. We want the plane to be on X, so it's cutting our two models in half. And what we do is fiddle about not the offset, I think the threshold. What you'll notice is that one arm will turn one colour and the other arm will turn another colour. And that means that it's recognised the mirror. You want to have a fiddle about this threshold as well. See, when it's low, you see it's all red. That means it can't work out where it's mirrored. But as you start to turn it up, it starts to find a correlation between the two arms. So it realises that there's a mirror, these are the verts that are matching each other. Thank you very much. So you just want to chuck those up. So now what we're doing is we're copying the blue here over to the other side. So if we have a look, paste green to blue, no, we want to paste blue to green verts, although they're not green. But the bones are green, I think that's pretty much what we want. So I'm just going to tick on that. Dush. There you go, now you see this has come up nice and green. Don't know if it's how well it's done that actually. I'm going to put the threshold up a bit more. Seems to have had a few problems. Let's have a test. Get our little animation on the go again. Can't select what I want. Yeah, see, we've got a lot of issues there. A lot of issues. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try mirroring it again, really. Select here, mirror mode. Try leaving the mirror offset on 0, see what that does. Paste blue to green again. Whoa. Okay, sorry, I paused it there for a minute. not that anything majorly was going wrong. I was just all I did was just carried on playing around with these parameters here until I got it working properly. I made sure the mirror threshold was about slap bang down the middle. I put the mirror offset, sorry. Put the mirror thresh right up, and just kept making sure. Tested again, and it seems now that the weighting has sort of gone over quite alright. The only thing that you really want to do at the end is just go in that little extra, have a look around, make sure there isn't anything too out of the ordinary, get a similar animation as we've got with this arm, just moving about like I've done, and just watch out if there's sort of any problems which really stick out. See, I may actually So yeah, and I don't think you're likely to get it to copy 100% perfect. So just go in and have a little extra fiddle about. Make sure you save a lot as well, in case there's any problems. But other than that, really, I think that's about it. You just want to keep fiddling and fiddling, practicing, just until you get the weighting just about right. I don't know, how long is this? 26 minutes. No, I think I'll leave it there for today. Next tutorial we'll start getting into some animation, I think. Fun.